We've got the refreshed Volvo XC40.
We chose this as one of our top 5 subcompact luxury SUVs. We'll tell you why.
Here we go.
Sounds good.
Sounds fabulous.
So Volvo has come out with a new family of engines. They've gone from T to B. And there you go. What's under the hood of this thing?
There are 2 powertrain options, a B4 and a B5, both with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder and an 8-speed automatic transmission. There's also a 48-volt hybrid system. The B4 powertrain is 194 horsepower and the B5 247 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive in Canada. In the US, the B5 is an all-wheel drive model, and the B4 only front-wheel drive.
So this is an updated model, mostly the new engine. Let's find out what else you get with our key standard features.
The base trim comes with a 12.3-inch driver display, a 9-inch touchscreen, Google Assistant, Apple Carplay, heated comfort front leather seats, a power driver seat with memory, power 4-way lumbar support, a power tailgate, 18-inch wheels, and blind spot monitoring and rear cross-traffic alert.
Frustrating. There are no drive modes on this car any longer, except for off-road. Who goes off-roading in this thing? So what else can we put it in, Andrea?
Got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the Couple Car Review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure you like and subscribe. The most important thing is to hit the notification bell, and also follow on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to see what's going on behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button.
This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.
Now, usually we talk about the drive and the outside and all that. Is it just my imagination, Andrea? Because it's been a while since we've driven this, that the seats now sit a little lower.
Yeah, I think that they do. One of the complaints that we had about the previous XC40 is that for taller people, you were sitting up a little bit too high. I think for petite women, sitting up and over the dash, I always applauded Volvo for that with the XC40, but for tall people, didn't always work.
So they brought out the C40, which is the sportier version of this, and it's electrified, and we noticed they put the seats down because the roof was cropped, and I think they've just done that across the board. Well done, Volvo.
This Volvo has been engineered for smooth takeoffs, refined acceleration. Whether you're in the city or on the highway, the cabin remains quiet. It really does feel like a refined and luxurious experience.
Now, when I reviewed this years ago, I said this would really appeal to female buyers, and all these people said, "You're mansplaining, Zach. Stop mansplaining." I had the last laugh because that year it won the Woman's Car of the Year. Huh? What do you think of that, Andrea?
Good for you, Zach. Good for you.
So as a woman, Andrea, do you feel this will appeal to a lot of women?
Well, I think that the other model appealed more to women because of the higher seating position. Now I think it's a really good balance for males and females.
Do you know the Volvo sign is the sign of a male? Did you know that's true?
No, I did not know that.
There you go.
Thanks for your fun fact.
All right, fun fact from Zork. All right, let's get into the steering, which has always been very light and compliant and a smooth, comfortable ride. Still the case here.
Yeah, but you know what? You can firm it up a bit. Just go into the screen, firm up the steering. I am disappointed that there are no drive modes. You can put this into a manual mode, which makes it a little bit more fun, but I just want to have a sport mode button that I can hit.
They used to have that. They used to have sport and all of these settings on all the Volvo cars. They seem to have gotten rid of it, and it really is crying out for just a slightly more aggressive engine and transmission setting to take off from a stop sign and those sorts of things. There were certain times you just want a little bit more punch, and I don't have to put it in manual to do that. I shouldn't have to, I should say.
No. This has a little less horsepower than the previous T5 powertrain. 247 for this, 250 for the previous model. You'd never know it. It's so small, and the torque number is so good. Plenty of power when you're passing on the highway.
And it's also got a mild hybrid system. So on the outside, it hasn't been updated really. It looks like the good old XC40.
Yeah.
And I think that we picked it up and I parked it in front of our house and I was looking at it, especially with this color.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is still a really nice looking, might be one of the best looking subcompact luxury crossovers.
For sure. I mean, it really has a nice modern look. It's well proportioned. This offers 8.3 inches of ground clearance. Few tweaks for 2023, revised headlamps, an upgraded front bumper and grille. This comes standard with LED headlights and LED taillights. You can get chrome exterior accents or black exterior accents for no extra charge. Standard 18-inch wheels, but available 19, 20, and 21-inch wheels.
All right, I think the color really pops on this one. All right, let's turn our attention to the inside. We have more about this coming up in Questions, Coffee, and Cars about halfway through the video. But I like I'm not a big fan of digital screens, but I like the fact that it's included in this.
Me too. I mean, as a base model, you get the digital driver display. You get a standard 9-inch touchscreen, and this is the new Google Android system. I like it. I've been in so many Volvos. At first I was kind of like, ugh, this is a little bit hard to figure out. But once you get it and you know where everything is, it's actually quite simple.
Still no AM radio. Zach wants his sports talk.
Poor Zach.
I want to hear how badly the Canucks are playing, who's getting traded, when the coach is getting fired. I want to know all of that on my sports talk. I got to do a side hack, connect my phone, download an app, stream AM through my phone. Just give me AM radio. I heard that there's going to be more problems with AM, with electrified vehicles as we go forward. But come on, this is the only company I know that doesn't have it.
Zach's going to pull his hair out if there's problems with
it is
AM
fitting, Andrea.
radio.
Hey, you guys laugh at me about the AM radio, but talk radio is on AM. I like my talk radio. Who's getting fired?
Let's get into the trims. Like we talked about already, the base model comes with some great features, but you have to add a package to get certain things like a heated steering wheel, heated rear seats, the power passenger seat, and the hands-free power tailgate.
But they're from Sweden. They should have a heated steering wheel as standard equipment.
Yeah.
And we're in Canada, same kind of climate. Come on.
And moving up to the middle trim, of course, it opens you up to more features like a wireless charger. You get this standard power passenger seat, panoramic sunroof, and the hands-free power tailgate, but you still have to add a package to get the heated steering wheel and the heated rear seats.
Foot de feu. You know what that means, Andrew, in Swedish?
What does it mean?
77. It's just one of those things I know in Swedish.
How would you know that?
Because I've been to Sweden. Foot de feu. I always thought it sounded funny, so I went foot de feu. But it means 77. There you go.
Okay, well, thanks for that.
Hopefully it's not 70. It could be $77 to add the heated steering wheel, but I doubt it.
I doubt it. So the top trim comes with all of those features we mentioned. Plus, it comes standard with the Harman Kardon sound system. You get pilot assist, a 360 camera, and that heated steering wheel.
Foot de feu! All right. Now, one of the great things about this product is the packaging is fantastic, and it really is a case study. It's kind of like IKEA, except you don't have to put it together yourself, about how to use a small space and come up with some creative things like, the garbage can. This is the only car I know that has a garbage can in the middle.
Cool.
We're going to talk about it again, the big door pockets. And then in the back, you have, in the cargo area, it can fold up so your groceries don't fly around, and you can put the cargo cover underneath. Great little packaging details. Here's me getting in the back seat. Not a ton of leg room, not a ton of headroom, and the seat is really upright. How does it compare to the rest?
Comparing the XC40 to the BMW X1, Audi Q3, and Mercedes-Benz GLA, they all offer similar front row legroom. Second row legroom for the Volvo at 36.1 inches is the same as the Q3, but it's the GLA that offers the most at 38 inches. Overall cargo space at 57.5 cubic feet is the biggest compared to these three competitors, with the X1 being very close. Space behind the second row at 20.7 cubic feet is good, but it's not the biggest. That goes to the X1 at 25.7 cubic feet.
We're going to stop for a little fika.
God help us all.
Fika means coffee and a pastry. We don't have a pastry.
Wow, just the wealth of knowledge, Zach, today.
It's going to be longer than 52 seconds.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
I always love the interiors of Volvos, but I feel like this interior has been around for a while, making the car seem old. Is there any indication that they are planning a more robust refresh? Well, first off, manufacturers won't speak to us about future products, so they won't tell us if it is getting one. But I actually think this interior has really held up over the years.
I was thinking the exact same thing. We didn't even talk about this, and I drove this and I was like, you know what? It was so well done initially, it still looks very current. Now the screen, even though it was big when it first came out, could be maybe a little bit bigger, but that's really the only thing it needs done. Everything else, they nailed it.
And there's very little piano black in here except around the screen and at the center console shifter, but a lot of it is matte black, and then they've gone with this really cool contemporary design, and I like the Alcantara. I actually think it's pretty good.
Okay, one quick thing. Also, the door pockets are carved out.
Yeah.
There's no speakers in the doors. They're up in the firewall. So it's a lot of great packaging.
What suits this vehicle best? B4, B5 powertrains or the recharge powertrain? Regardless, love the XC40. Such an awesome, cute little vehicle.
You're going to decide whether you want to go electric or not. Of course, you can get this electrified. They all come with a 48-volt mild hybrid system. So really, you got to do a gut check. First of all, do you have a place to plug it in every day? If you don't have a place to plug it in every day, it's a pain in the ass. You know why? You know what we're doing right now, Andrea? We're charging the F-150 Lightning while we're doing this at a fast charging station because we don't have one at home. It's a pain in the neck.
My favorite, honestly, is the B5 powertrain. I like the horsepower. I like the torque. Not quite ready to go to a pure EV, so that's the one I would get. We put out a lot of content each week on the Motormouth YouTube channel, and it's super easy to find.
All you do is go to the YouTube search bar and type in Motormouth. That's the name of the channel, then the brand you're looking for. In this case, it's Volvo, and all our videos pop up. It's that easy.
This XC40 has a great look, and those front seats look very comfortable. Volvo prices seem very competitive here. I'm digging the blue color. They are super competitive. Actually, when I was doing the research for this, I was surprised at what you're getting in each trim, even the lower trim. So I think you're right. You know, I always kind of thought the Q3 was the value leader, but this is really good.
Well, they moved the price of the Q3 up, right? It used to be the value leader, and they're kind of tied. You have to decide whether you want German or Swedish / Chinese.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's one of the beauties of the car being older and in market for a while. You know what? They don't have to put the price up until they totally refresh it.
And you're right. It is a very comfortable interior. The seats are comfortable. I can't move this seat because the car is off.
Let me just turn it on for you, Andrea.
Okay, turn it on for me. I just want to show you on this passenger side just how much this seat goes up.
It's binging and bonging at us.
Look at this. Like if I'm a petite woman, I'm quite short. Look at me. I'm in housewares.
Look at now, you're the same height as me.
I know.
And by the way, yes.
This is crazy.
Back to the blue point. I love the blue sweater.
I was going to say the car, but I like the blue sweater too.
And Andrea's is nice too. And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
I like how the Volvos look. I'm usually disappointed about their JD Power standings though.
Well, Andrea, the 3-year dependability study following cars for 3 years in the marketplace, anonymous owners, just follow the cars, return to the dealership. Volvo was right down at the very bottom year after year after year. But things have changed, right?
Oh man, it's moved up, and JD Power even gave it a bit of an honorable mention, giving Volvo the most improved. It is no longer at the very bottom. It is now in 23rd spot. It's still below the industry average, but it's moving up.
They also gave a shout out to Ram because of those Ram ProMaster trucks have gone up a lot. But it's going to be interesting to see as this Android operating system is in the marketplace for several years, how people love or dislike it. I'm not a huge fan. I am getting used to it because I've been in so many Volvos, but still it's not the most intuitive system. So this is a subcompact luxury crossover. You'll be surprised how much it can tow. We'll get into the fuel economy and more in our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. We'll do Canada first and then we'll move on to the US. The B4 offers just one model and it's priced at just over $42,000. The B5 Ultimate, that top trim that we're test driving, is just over $55,500 Canadian. In the US, the B4 powertrain starts at just over $37,500, and the top B5 Ultimate model is just over $47,500 US.
Here's the fuel economy for the B4. It's 10 liters per 100 kilometers city, 7.6 on the highway. That's 24 miles per gallon city, 32 miles per gallon highway. The B5 is rated at 10.2 liters per 100 kilometers city, 7.9 on the highway. That's 23 miles per gallon city, 30 miles per gallon highway. This Volvo is rated to tow 3,500 pounds. Volvo offers a warranty of 4 years, 80,000 kilometers or 50,000 miles. In the United States, complimentary scheduled maintenance is covered for 3 years or 36,000 miles. So you want something a little luxurious and you need a small vehicle. What else can you buy?
For your consideration. 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the new BMW X1 with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 241 horsepower, and a starting price just under $46,000.
The Audi Q3 with a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, 228 horsepower, and a starting price just over $43,000.
The Mercedes-Benz GLA with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 221 horsepower, and a starting price of $45,000.
The Cadillac XT4 with a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, 237 horsepower, and a starting price just over $41,000.
So there are 4 luxury subcompact crossovers for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like, 2 things we'd like to see improved.
I really like how quiet this cabin is.
I still love the design.
What I'd like to see is the heated steering wheel coming standard on that middle trim.
Also a sport mode, and if you're not going to give me sport mode, put paddle shifters. Shifting it in the center isn't the easiest.
Refined, smooth, and there's a lot of value with this XC40.
Still got a few Swedish quirks, but overall a great unit.
This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.